All right. Hey, everybody. Guess what? We're back again. Man, we've had some travelers. Marcus, we've been traveling. What? North Carolina. He's back.
I'm back.
Daryl, he was a little under the weather last week, but he's back. I'm just here, and I'm still here. Anyway, we're going to talk about, I guess, the ending of the World Cup finals, the whole thing with the World Cup. Maybe just summarize it a bit. And also, we got a hot story come out about the mile run, and the football's about ready to start up. Let's cover that later. We're going to talk about football maybe in the next episode or so. So go ahead and like and subscribe so you can hear what we think about the upcoming season. Oh, yeah. Jerry Jones promising a lot of big things for the Cowboys. That's surprising. Anyway, back to World Cup Championship soccer. Man, I tell you, I have never, ever watched soccer like this. I've seen it every once in a while on TV, and I didn't know anything about it, so I never watched. I don't know if I ever watched a full game, except for my grandson plays or my granddaughter plays, something like that. But, I've never really played a game. But this is the first time I actually watched games because they're coming on. I really had a lot of good time watching these games. They were fun. I think I enjoyed it because of the fans. Fans were having so much fun. The Norwegians doing their rocking, whatever, the rowing. Oh, that was so fun. I mean, the whole thing was fun to watch. Did y'all watch it at all? I know.
Oh, yeah.
You may not have.
I watched some of it. I didn't watch, all of it.
You didn't, Daryl? Okay.
No, I was watching baseball.
Oh, we watching baseball. Sorry, yeah.
That makes sense. I didn't see baseball.
Yeah. Now I watched more of it. I mean, obviously this year there were a few things that obviously being held primarily in the United States was a big driver. So many folks coming in from abroad to watch the matches in the various cities. Obviously the controversy a couple of weeks ago, drew a lot of attention to it with the red card and the overturned decision, and so but I mean this weekend's games were I had more enjoyment watching the game with France
Ooh, yeah,
that was a great game, England versus France, right? I mean, but at the end of the day,
historic rivals forever in history.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was incredible. England just got off to that incredible score. I'm just like, wow, man, is this a baseball game or a soccer game? Like the scores were pretty.
Was it 6-4?
Soccer, 6-4. I mean, that's like, man, you don't typically see a soccer game get that high. Like
it's like it was more like an all-star game for basketball. No defense, just if you can kick it well enough, go ahead and kick it. We don't care.
Yeah.
With that kind of scoring, that was amazing. And I read some people were saying, like, why do we even have to have a game with the third and fourth place people? And I'm thinking, like, they used to do that. I think I mentioned in an earlier episode, they used to do that in the NFL. But then I read, that they made like over $25 million, both those two teams, to play another extra game. So I'm like, that's a big reason, make extra money like that.
Yeah, no, not a problem with it.
No, I wouldn't either. So go ahead and play it. Have fun. Mm-hmm. Well, the halftime show. I don't know if you saw the halftime show yesterday. Mm-hmm. I mean, yesterday. Oh, time flies when you're having fun. Yesterday, they had a halftime show, and apparently they don't normally do a halftime show at these World Cups, but they did it because we need to make money on the Texas TVs or U.S. TVs. Anyway, we had. I saw the halftime show. It was pretty cool. I don't know if it's a good model for the U.S. halftime because U.S. halftime they spend all that time bringing on a stage, performers go up, and then they come down and tear the stage back down. They had a couple of people come up front. They had the Muppets there, but they had some also was videotaped and put up there. So the timing and the sequencing was real quick. It was done. So I kind of like that, you could more get your videotape, like it was MTV type videos up there. So that was really good. I enjoyed them. I didn't know who all of them were. It's like Justin Bieber was on there. I swear I didn't know any of his songs, but then when they do their songs, like, oh yeah, now I know. So, but I can't identify it. But Madonna was there. I forgot who else was there, but got my feelings about theirs.
Shakira performed.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Man, that woman is just incredible. Like, still able to perform at that level with that level of energy. And she's coming up on 50, man. That woman is one hell of an entertainer.
Yeah, that's like Madonna. Was she 67, 68? I thought maybe.
She's still up. She up there. She material.
Yeah, she kind of walks like me, I guess. But anyway, more power to her. More power to all of them that are out there. Tom Cruise made his speech. I don't know why he was Tom Cruise, but he was there. I guess he can be there. Nice flyovers and stuff like that. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. The game was good. It went into what they call extra time. That was new to me. 90 minutes keeps on running, never a timeout, no matter what happens. So then the referee gets to add extra time at the end. Like someone gets hurt and it takes like a few minutes to get them taken care of. Well, they'll add minutes to the end of the thing. But, I think it was in the second extra time that Spain scored scored their goal to win. And that was something.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was, like I said, it was a slower paced game. And I mean, again, I'm not going to say I'm an avid soccer fan or football fan, as they say, more internationally known. But I was more just enamored by the energy. We went out to a sports bar in the North Carolina area, not too far outside of Raleigh and Durham. And the energy was there. It was just people from all over, like the bars and all that were just packed. And I just, just looking around the room and just seeing the energy. And I think there were definitely a lot more folks in that area that were going for Spain. I don't know if it was kind of one of those things where they felt like Argentina had just kind of, they've seen enough wins, although they're not the all-time, most World Cup winner. I think a lot of it was also like with Messi. I think he's, considered the best of all time.
Yeah.
Everyone was kind of hoping that he would be able to finish it out, because this is most likely going to be his last, final, World Cup. And so I think, it would have been great, kind of an ending to a story for him to win. But I mean, they kind of also did it to themselves, right? They were down one player for the last
last 5 or 6 minutes or something.
Regulation time. And so that put them in a disadvantage there as well. And just the fouls, the infractions. I mean, it wasn't their best play in the game. And obviously, I think everybody was more defensive game than it was offensive, right? And I think a lot of teams were just nervous. They were probably trying not to lose more so than they were playing to win. And sometimes you'll see that play out. It's in different levels of the game. But that's kind of what I saw. But it was a good game. It does call the question, though, right? You think about how many people look at football as is known internationally, soccer, versus American football, right? And it's like you hear one argument that soccer has the largest viewership of any sport across, but then when you look at America, right? What we are, we're capitalists here. You start putting a dollar sign on it, and then it's like it ain't even close in terms of what American football tracks. And it's just something about soccer. I will not talk negatively of it. It just takes a different mind shift to sit there and watch a game go back and forth without a score, where football, every 10 minutes, and if not less, somebody's going to score a ball, and so I think every game's a little different. But that's just the thing with soccer, man. It's just hard sometimes. But even people struggle with baseball because that's not a scoring game, right? You can go 9 innings before the first ball ran in. So it's like, no, every sport's a little different.
Yeah. Well, I forgot. I need to ask you a trivia question.
Yeah, what's the trivia question today?
My trivia question. All right, you heard of Pele, right?
Yeah, old Pele.
All right, Pele. What year did Pele play in the United States? Or what 2 years did he play in the United States? Yeah, Daryl? What is it? Go ahead and tell us. What?
1980.
1980. Good gosh. All right. Nope. It wasn't the 80s. Close.
Was it 78 or 76? Is that close?
I've got down here. Anyone else there know about it? Put it down there. I'll give you 5 seconds.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it alone. Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pele. He played from 1975 to 1977.
I was right in the middle.
And it says that he won the championship in 1977 in the NASL championship with the New York Cosmos. I just remember when he came here, it was a big thing. You know, I didn't really know what soccer was, but when he did that scissor kick thing back there, I guess that was his signature move. We thought, whoa, this guy's the greatest athlete ever.
You know, but the reason I became aware of Pele and I required after this is just doing crossword puzzles. For whatever reason, like his name was always coming up in those crossword puzzles that you get in the newspaper, like soccer star. You know, it was always the clue, right? But go ahead, Daryl. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
But wasn't his name? Didn't we call him Pele? Pele. Like, it wasn't Pele. We called him Pele back then, right?
Pele? I don't know.
I don't know. I hear, my ears are different. I hear the same thing when you say it. I don't know. It's like you're saying, is it potato or potato? Or is it tomato or is it tomato? Is it Pele or Pele? I don't.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I'm not much of a soccer fan, obviously, but I'm going to tell you this, man. I have a grandson who is the real deal Holyfield when it comes to basketball. Mm-hmm. He's 9 years old. He just moved to Texas. And his father is a basketball coach. His father, his whole family, all his father's side of the family, true basketball players. He has an uncle plays overseas. He's but this kid is really, really good. He go out there and play games where he banks 7 for 7, 9 for 9, that kind of stuff. I mean, he's sharpshooting.
Must be almost as good.
All of a sudden now, he don't want to play basketball anymore. Wow. At 9 years old, he wants to play soccer now. Oh. So I'm telling y'all, if this soccer thing is not what it's hyped up to be, somebody gonna hear from me on this. Somebody gonna hear from me. Taking this kid away from basketball to play soccer. Oh no, man, we gonna. Nah, I'm not much of a fighter, but I'm gonna find somebody to fight.
Soccer's picking up, D. I mean, man, it's picking up. I don't know if you rocking my Adidas tracksuit right here, but I even kind of got in the mood a little bit for the soccer. Hell, I mean, I don't know if it'll show here. I'll pull them up. They show. Yeah, is it gonna show? Yeah.
Whoa! Look at that.
My Adidas, my Sambas right here. So yeah.
Well, I was wondering too when you say that. I was thinking, I was always surprised that soccer hadn't picked up more because, not my generation, maybe not just after me, but my son's generation. If you're 40 years old, they were playing soccer a lot, and I'm thinking, it might have really picked up because the generation that grew up with soccer is now coming of age or are of age, and they're the ones now that maybe have that extra disposable money to go to a game. I didn't have that kind of disposable money, but some of them do. So I'm thinking, it's really maybe starting to come of age with the people who've played it all their lives. They know these things like offsides, tackling. The thing that surprises me too, after every time they have a break, they got the water sprinklers going on.
Wow.
All right, so I looked up this thing. You said penalties. I was confused about penalties, and maybe you can correct me. Anyone out there, tell me about penalties. I know red card, you're out of here. Yellow card's a warning, 2 yellow cards, you're out of here. Mm-hmm. But then they got a penalty kick. You watch it, and sometimes it looks like these guys' shirts are being tugged, they're being dragged down, they get pushed down. No penalty. Then all of a sudden, someone's ankle gets touched. Penalty, free kick. So I never know when it's a penalty, and the other team gets the ball. Sometimes it's a penalty, and they get a free kick. Sometimes get a penalty and they're like, 10 feet away from the basket, from the goal. So there's a lot of different penalties I haven't really caught on yet with, Foul, there's a foul. Foul is an unfair act. So it's fouls, penalties. So maybe those other things are fouls, penalties, you get a kick. But, you watch some of those things that look like a foul to me and they don't call it. And that's what's hard too. They added an extra referee in basketball because it was so fast. Yeah. But there's just one guy out there, covering the whole thing in soccer. I know they've got the 2 guys on the sidelines, but they're kind of watching for offsides, who gets the ball. But that seems like a lot of ground to cover for one guy. So I guess how can they see it? And that's when I heard that's why they flop so much, to make sure someone sees, hey, I just got destroyed.
Yeah, well, I think like a lot of games, I mean, they're doing the replays. I don't know if they have an official
Oh
policy where
yeah,
they
when they
can
do this for the
overturn.
box, we're going to do a
Yeah,
replay.
I mean, man, they get zeroed in to like telescopic, man, like dividing, man. They get
Oh
all
gosh,
up
don't they,
on the
that
announcement. But I
technology?
mean, the penalty kick. I mean, I learned a lot about soccer just in the last few weeks. But from what I was hearing, one of the announcers say, I think like 70%, 80% of those kicks they turn into goals, so they convert them into a goal about 75% of the time. So that's
Oh, that's a
why
big penalty. Yeah,
it's such a big thing. And then of course you got the penalty shootout versus the penalty kick.
yeah.
And those are two different things, right? So you get the kick when there's a foul, and then at the end of extra time, or at the it's used in extra time, the knockout matches, if the score is still tied, then each team gets 5 alternative penalty kicks to determine the winner. So then they still, even that, have a sudden death where the first team that scores and the same, if the other team misses in that same round, and that's how they win. So soccer has a lot of unique nuances in terms of like not only the how they call and how they score, but even the whole time thing you talked about a few moments ago, right? It's like, okay, 90 minutes is over. Wait a minute, now you got to wait to see how much more time you got. Like that's just so interesting technique to like wait for the refs to tell you how much
Yeah.
more time is
And
left in the
like when
game.
there's time's running out in basketball or football, it's like football, they'll just start chunking Hail Marys or something. In
Yeah,
basketball, they're going to haul up. But then in soccer, I'm like, do the players know they're like, you got 5 seconds? But, they're just sort of like doing their strategies and keep on playing until the opening occurs. So
yeah,
it's different, but I've enjoyed it.
yeah,
That's the main thing I got to say. I enjoyed it, and that's great. I
yeah.
hope everyone enjoyed it because it was really something. I don't know, like we said last time, 4 years, long time to wait. But also, did you see the thing with Messi? They had a picture of him with this little baby from a long time ago. Well, that baby grew up and was on the Spanish team
Yeah,
for
yeah.
in there.
Heard
So
about
it was
that.
something they were playing against each other. Change of the guard, so to speak. Old
Yeah.
guard leaving the old young guard. All
Yeah,
right. Well, anything else about soccer?
no,
Anything else about soccer? Go ahead.
no. That was it for me on the soccer, man. Hey, just congratulations to Spain. Yeah,
Well, did you see that guy from England broke the 1 mile record? He ran it in 3 minutes and 42.66 seconds. That record had held for 27 years. But I mean,
I don't
can
even
you imagine?
understand
I looked it
how
up. I
humanly
calculated it
possible.
up. That was a little over 16 miles per hour for a mile. I mean, that's fast, for a whole mile to run that kind of speed. I remember, I don't actually remember because it was in the 50s, but remember, Bannister, I think he's the first one, he's from England too, first one to win break the 4 minute mile. They thought that was a barrier. No one would ever break that barrier. But then, this guy comes out there, they don't train the same as they do this. I think we mentioned last time, Marcus, I think you did, about the training so much different now.
Yeah.
This guy was a professor. And he just went out there and said, like, oh, I can run. So he runs and, breaks the 4 minute mile.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot different. Now these guys training, it's down to 3 minutes and 42 seconds. And I think the women's, they like just barely over 4 minutes. They're very close. It probably won't be too long. We'll probably hear a woman break the 4 minute mile.
That's
So the
crazy.
training techniques and, the tracks are better, shoes are, everything's better. So, I mean,
That's crazy.
that is just fast. His name's Josh Kerr. So more power to you, Josh Kerr. Somewhere along the line, probably related to Steve. I don't know,
Yeah. Steve wasn't that fast.
No, that's true. I just can't imagine, being able to run. I can run fast, but in short bursts, not for a whole mile.
I mean, I wonder, like, can that guy sustain that speed for an hour? I know you just mentioned like the whole 16 miles per hour. I doubt he'll be able to sustain that type of speed, but that's just incredible.
Yes.
I mean, I can't even imagine the velocity, like just like seeing it in motion, like how fast somebody would have to run from the end of one block to the next, in that scenario, just like how fast and that they could cover that. Like I'm just thinking like right now, I'm looking at my window and thinking like somebody's running that fast. Like how long would it take to get from this block to that block? It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm just out of breath thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know, everything just changes too. You know, I was at a game with my brother, football game, and a Cowboys looking down there, and it's like, sheesh, that guy just strided 50 yards to warm up. That'd be my full workout nowadays. You know, amazing. All right, I don't know if you saw that. That was pretty cool. I think a mile record has been broken. That was held forever, and that's 3 minutes and 42 seconds just running. That's crazy. Most people probably can't keep that pace up for a quarter mile.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all we got, guys. Did y'all see about the mile? Let us know what you think. If you see about World Cup soccer, that was really fun to watch. I tell you, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. But anyway, you guys have fun out there. Like and share. Leave some comments. Hey, subscribe. And watch out. I think our next time we're probably going to talk about football. Because all three of us know football. It's not like one guy knows baseball. One guy knows this, one guy knows that. We all know football.
Yeah, we all.
We're from Texas. All right. See y'all later.
All right, guys.